What's happening, everybody? We welcome you to another episode of San Diego Prep Insider, where we may have broken the in-studio record for most number of guests attending at once, and they have an entourage outside as well. Sage Creek is here, and as we were going over on some of the social previews before the show, apologize for having this always poorly lit. It's a bit of an amateur hour here sometimes. We were going over before the show. I am a big Sage Creek fan. I would like to remind everybody that while we are in the middle of football season, Sage Creek football is once again undefeated for another year. As always, I will put that on the poll. Who has the longer winning streak right now, Carlsbad or Sage Creek? Or I guess Lincoln or Sage Creek. Sage Creek, 0 losses ever, I think, in school history. We will get to plenty of the football. I'm sure you guys hear nonstop about football all season long. But let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. You guys are entirely coordinated? Okay, so 10 out of 10 on the showing up, evenly coordinated, but no numbers. So it's always a little bit harder for us to identify. So if you could go name, grade, and position, please.
Oh, okay. My name's Sienna Granado. I'm a sophomore, and I'm oppo in middle.
I'm Allison. I'm a sophomore, and I'm an outside.
I'm Juliet. I'm a junior, and I'm also an outside.
My name's Kaylin Crozier. I'm an oppo, and I'm a junior.
I'm Kaya, and I'm a senior, and I play DS.
I'm Nitya Namani. I'm a junior, and I play middle.
My name's Diane Beck, and I'm a sophomore, and I play oppo and outside.
I'm Sienna Schmidt. I'm a junior, and I play setter.
I'm Paulina Bailey. I'm a senior, and I'm a libero outside.
My name's Lorena Segura, and I'm a junior and a setter.
My name's Natalie Steele. I'm a senior, and I'm a middle blocker.
Coach Savage. I'm the boys and girls varsity head coach.
And have been there for
10 years.
10 years total. Congratulations. Are we at 10 years?
11 years
11 this year.
Wow, my goodness. Okay, I got an ongoing volleyball question because I would assume that most of you figured out pretty quickly, a 5'10" white guy, so most likely not a volleyball player at any point in my life. Is it pronounced libero or libero, or how do you actually pronounce it? I get the sample size from all of the ones that actually play the position because I've heard it.
It depends on how you really want to say it. The name, I'm pretty sure.
That is not an answer.
Yeah. Okay, but
depends.
can I go?
That's a question with a question. Okay, yes, go ahead.
So a lot of people in America say libero, but a lot of people who play international or especially in Europe, because I think the name did originate in Europe.
Italy.
So is it more? Italy? Are you a more cultured, worldly volleyball person if you pronounce it libero, or are you getting laughed at here in America?
You're getting laughed at here.
Good, because I heard that on a college broadcast a couple weeks ago, and it threw me off the whole time. I'm like, I was shaking in my core. I'm like, I've only ever heard it said this one way, and so now everyone's got some sort of input on it. Okay, so when we have you guys in here, I think 13-7 is what it says on the wins losses, but sometimes those are tournament games and they're shorter, and win-loss to me means very little in terms of an X's and O's record thing. It just in general. So I'll ask you guys, how's the season going so far? Open question to anybody. Are you happy with it? Are you upset with where you at? How are you guys feeling 0 to 100% right now in terms of how much you have accomplished?
I think we're doing pretty good.
I mean, together, I feel like we've been growing together as a team, even though, we haven't been, having better overall wins. We're just growing together and, doing better and better every time.
I agree with that, especially because over the past couple years, I'd say that we've been a pretty older team, if that makes any sense. We've had a lot of seniors, a lot of juniors, and this year we're a pretty young team, and so we're getting better as time goes on, figuring out what works, what doesn't work. And I think that for the diversity of the team, all the grade levels and everything, we're doing pretty good, especially pretty much starting from scratch because we only have a few returning varsity players.
So 3 sophomores on the team, is that correct? 4 sophomores, 3 sophomores. My literacy is mediocre on the fly. Okay, so been senior heavy for the last couple of years, coach. Yes. Then maybe you have a little bit more broad sort of sample size to answer with. Is this team ahead of schedule in terms of the younger kid rebuild? Is this a team that you feel how high is the ceiling for the rest of this year?
Really, the potential is wide open for this team because they're young, they're smart, they're intelligent, and they're really strongly unified. I mean, look how they're dressed right now, and just every part about this season is geared towards building this team and preparing for CIF and for moving forward.
So for you guys, what is next? Are you guys going to give me we're taking it one game at a time? Is there one game left on the schedule that if you said to people, hey, if you got to come check us out, please come to that game? Is there one big rival? Because I know that you guys as a school have a rival, but as a program, always fun to find out who is, really rivaling with who.
I think as a team, our mentality is just taking it practice by practice, game by game. We're always having something to look forward to, whether it is a practice or a game. So we have our goals as a program and as a team as it gets into, our league matches, the rest of the season, what's to come, CIF and states.
I saw the word Carlsbad mouthed a couple of times. Is that the program rival? Are we starting to split it by grade? Do some grades hate certain schools more than others?
I wouldn't say. I think geographically it kind of makes sense that Carlsbad is a rival in most of our sports. But honestly, I mean, all of our league games really are rivals in a sense. We're able to kind of compete at high levels in the league that we're in now. So I think...
And you guys get pretty good turnout from the students? Yes?
Yes,
like, it's actually a pretty good environment. You are coming on here happy with it.
Yes, your battery pack is dead, by the way.
Fair enough. That's the last thing people need is more of me on this show. So walk us through what that's like, actually having one of the more elite volleyball student section experiences in San Diego.
Do I speak
Open
on
question
that?
to anybody.
Okay. I can speak on it from an ASB
let's have our ASB president speak about it.
So I'll speak on it from an ASB aspect. As I'm the president at my school, and I know part of the ASB program's goals have been to grow our student section for all sports and having more representation rather than just our bigger sports like volleyball or basketball. So over the years, we've developed different incentives and like theme games and everything to kind of build our student section. But in that, I think with having a smaller school compared to others, it allows for a greater sense of unity and it builds community among our students where we as a team feel supported because our students want to go to our games and they're fun to go to our games, and it's fun being able to like look up in the crowd and see all of your friends there, not because you ask them, but because they actually want to be there.
And I saw you guys went as far as to publish a volleyball etiquette video.
Yes.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. What was the process like? For scripting out that video and educating everybody on best volleyball and you guys also team approved.
Yeah.
Did that have to get run by everybody on how do we want them to cheer, or
That was all ASB.
that was ASB's doing?
Yeah, it was we have our student section called Bob Squad, and our Bob Squad co-presidents and their leaders, they kind of came up with that on their own, and we endorse, we support, we love all the cheers.
So are they fulfilling their obligation? Are they cheering correctly? If somebody had to grade the Bob Squad so far out of 1 out of 10, how are they doing this season?
It's like a solid 9. I feel like 9. I think like
they're doing pretty high.
Yeah, the best games are definitely the theme games. I think a lot more people go to them.
What are the better themes this year?
We do like whiteout, black. Like we do like the colors, and then I think.
Our pink out volleyball really games are big. Yeah.
Is senior night pink out or is senior night?
Yes.
Okay. Is that Barbie extra themed this year, or
we could definitely work on that?
Volleyball, a little. How do we merge the? Does the you guys still have the Bobcat costume?
Yes, we do.
How do we barbify that for senior night?
Don't even worry about it. We're already planning on it.
Okay, deal. Fair enough.
Bobby gets all dressed up for all the different events.
Yeah, the tutu.
Its name is Bobby?
His name is Bobby.
Oh, I've never known that. That's awesome.
Yes, it's Bobby.
You learn something new every day. Okay, so the theme nights are going well. The results are going okay. You guys obviously have playoff aspirations. Like, what do you guys need to get done, you feel like, as a team in the next couple of weeks in order to be happy with where you're at going into playoffs?
Well, what were our team goals? What did we decide at the beginning? We already talked about this, and you guys decided, and some goals that we're trying to attain.
So, do we want to talk about rooting?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so every team has its core values, and at the beginning of the season, we had a team meeting talking about our core values, and our acronym is RUDY. It is relentless, united, driven, and then integrity. And so relentlessness kind of just like making us push for every single ball, every point, every game. united, the shirts, always on the same page. Driven, again, like, we just want to get to where we want to get, complete and achieve all of our goals. And then integrity, holding each other accountable, being honest, always putting the team first. So those are kind of our core values. And I think what we talked about at the beginning of the season as well was just going as far as we can in CIF playoffs, probably make it to the semis or the finals. We have done so in the past couple of years, actually, so that is one of our goals. And then also making it to state. That's a big goal of ours. So,
can I ask about state? A lot of the other sports that have state playoffs, I talk to teams that are very likely headed in that direction, and I get very little mention of it ever. Why does state matter to you guys? Why, like, is that just a volleyball thing that enough teams make it into state out of the postseason, or have some of you had state experience? Because you're one of the first to ever bring up, hey, yeah, we're cognizant and aware of we want to win a CIF championship, but also the season is another 2 weeks longer than that.
Yes.
What's that mindset? Why do you guys care about state? Yeah.
I think that for like me, just like, I'm not going to speak for anyone, but I think for me, it's the more games, the more experience. And I think also the further you go into it all, the bigger the crowds get. And that's like something that's like pressure. And that's something personally, like, that's something that you just like want to have. So that way it's easier, like at other games.
I think also, with our preseason and then into league matches, we start to play the same teams over and over throughout the years. Obviously we have our league, which we play every year, and that's guaranteed. But the teams that we'll see frequently in our tournaments,
You start playing other top. You can't. No offense, but you can't schedule a D5 team.
Exactly.
Like, just for the sake of, we want a different team to play, because that's gonna completely screw over your math.
Exactly. And the state's competition brings
so playing
in new
Kennedy and Buckley
competition.
last year was like a breath of fresh air. You're like, oh wow, girls I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like, this is nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a refreshing aspect to it, and it's always like, to have your season go 2 weeks longer is always super exciting.
Really?
So.
Okay, because
so
I look at this number, and again, uninitiated to the volleyball lifestyle, have talked to many volleyball players, but never did it myself. By the end of a state run, you're playing almost 50 plus games. Mm-hmm. There's not like an extreme wear and tear on the body where you're just like, I don't want to jump anymore. I just want to not jump for 3 days. But you're saying 2 more weeks, that's great. Let's do it.
I think when you're in it, you're so excited to be in it that it doesn't matter, because after states are done, you'll be able to have weeks of rest where you're not jumping.
Is that different when you have to dive around the whole time?
It's, I don't know. I think of it as it's like a little competition for me in the game. It's like hot potato. Like, just get a touch on the ball and let it go, So it's like, I don't know. It's just the way that you look at it. It kind of depends on that. So
for you, Coach, is that part of is state part of the mindset and part of the message from day one with when you're talking to these players?
Yeah, I really kind of view myself as like a servant leader for the girls and kind of helping them facilitate whatever they want for the season. I know that I've talked to several of them. They were talking about building the schedule, and they wanted as many games as possible. And with that, servant leadership, you need to be able to push and pull as a coach and know when to let off and when to give them extra time and when to, hey, we got a tournament this weekend, let's get back at it. And I think the more teams that we play, the better that we play. And the more different teams we play, the more fun it is. And one thing that we're playing, we mentioned teams that we were going to be playing, I'm excited about, is we invited Kamehameha Kapalama to come, and they're coming to play us at Sage Creek. And
that's like late in the season, right?
Yeah, and Cathedral and Ramona, so it's a little mixer we're doing with those, a variety of ability levels, so that'll be fun. And I just wanted to schedule as many opportunities for the girls to play and have fun. And I mean, this is a lot. Some of them are seniors, and this is going to be it, so I want to try and make it special for them and make it a fun season.
It seems like you guys, amongst other things, have a lot of fun on a day-to-day basis. You guys run a fairly successful and frequent posting social media account. Your TikTok, your everything is always kind of popping. So as much as you need team captains on the field and everything, who is the person in charge of like the team vibes? Who is that? Are you the ASB? Are you just she's the leader B of everything? So then maybe you can answer like what's on the team playlist this year? What's been keeping the team hype? Like what's some of the team culture that people need to know about that's not necessarily volleyball related?
I think at least for me, I look forward to playing volleyball. I don't play club anymore, so this is kind of like my chance to play a sport. Definitely playlist, practice, anything. We always have music going. It's kind of, we all really rely on music to build the energy of our practices. So whether it's our coach playlist or our player playlist, we kind of...
What's something, can I get can the people get a variety of what's on the player playlist?
Do the people get to know?
Are we worthy?
Paulina, you want to
We had
talk
some
about
Katy
that?
Perry yesterday.
Yeah.
Paulina is kind of does that mostly.
Yeah.
Pauline's the most musically gifted one of the...
Come to our games and you'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, there's like some like Katy Perry, like
We have a good
What
mix
is
of
what
everything.
is? Let me ask you
like-
that a different way. What is the song most likely for the whole team to be caught singing during practice?
There's a song I want to say, but it's not us when we play it. It's. But
Fair enough.
So team inside Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't. But our playlist usually gets passed on throughout the years. So there's songs from like
There's stuff
maybe
handed
two-
down.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
two
definitely.
seasons ago. Yeah, it is generational.
So how do songs then get voted out of said playlist? Is there so there's stuff
Just skipped.
they're just
Yeah,
skipped.
they're
Okay,
just
so
If
they're
needed, if needed.
so the class of 2020 is still contributing to Sage Creek volleyball, but it's just getting politely skipped
Definitely,
at this
yeah.
point. They're like, oh,
And especially
we'll let you hang around, but
Yeah.
skip.
it just like you go to the end of the playlist and that's the starting point.
Okay.
And it'll just
Well, I guess
keep
that's
going.
nice that you're not like completely deleting them from the playlist
Yeah.
and being like,
Just so
oh,
they are.
unworthy of still being part of the varsity program. But there you go, classic generations.
Yeah.
Only 2 years ago is considered outdated now, per the vibes. All right, so coming up on the rest of your schedule, you mentioned Kamehameha. What do we got as the next home game that we can plug for everybody? Give me just a second. You guys.
Next Friday?
All right,
CCA.
so next Friday, the 19th, Canyon
league
Crest
game.
is first league game. Is
Yeah.
there a theme for that one?
Yes.
Should I not have put you on the spot?
Blackout?
Blackout.
I'm pretty sure.
Do you guys normally wear this level of unified clothes throughout every
These-
single day? Is this constantly a team thing?
It's constant. A part of Rudy is being unified.
Really?
So we
do
I mean,
it.
and
so
practice.
you guys are more of a cult than a
That's the ASB.
volleyball team?
We just are committed. No, but like during practice for the warm-ups warm-ups during games and everything, we try and wear the same shirts and have some level of unity and
Yeah, the warm-ups.
the warm-ups.
The warm-ups match. The warm-ups are good.
Yeah.
Okay. Is black the majority color on everything Sage Creek?
The
Or is-
warm-ups
'cause
are
green-
white and gold.
Green is technically what is actually the primary color of Sage
Black,
Creek?
green,
It is-
and
Gold, yeah.
white. But I would say
That's
green
the
and green and
least
gold.
unified answer I've ever heard.
Green and gold. Our term is bleed green and gold.
But everything looks good in Sage Creek just being a black uniform.
Yes.
You all agree on that? Is
Yes.
that the
Yeah.
favorite uniforms
Yep.
that you guys
Is that
have?
the
By
favorite
far.
uniform?
I
Or
think
do you like
so.
pinks better?
We do have pink uniforms. You'll see those on the pink out game if you come.
How often do the pink ones only get rocked for pink night?
No.
October.
It's for most of
Yeah.
October.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's kind of whatever they want. They kind of arrange the uniforms and
So who made or makes that decision? Is that always the seniors make that
That normally
decision,
comes-
or how do we ride it?
Captains.
Captains for sure, but
Captains.
I feel like it's majority of the time agreed upon.
Yeah.
Like we all are like, okay, we like we want to wear black, we want to wear white. Like it's kind of
I think
just.
we're going to be going into a system of black jerseys home games, white jerseys on away games, and then pink throughout the month of October or whenever we want.
Or whenever you just need a little extra,
Yeah.
just a little something.
Yeah. Or
There-
if one's not washed,
Pizzazz.
so.
or if one's not washed, which is an all.
You gotta come
Yeah.
get creative.
You're speaking to probably a more uncomfortable reality than most volleyball players would want to admit. That sometimes it's just laziness, and we didn't have time to go home and wash it.
Oh, yeah.
We're busy.
You saw all the games we have on the schedule. It's hard to wash them that quick.
Yes, it was hard to read them, let alone think about experiencing all of them. All right, so guys, thank you so much for joining us. I like asking on the way out, though, for all the seniors in the room. I know this is kind of a loaded question, but what other than music that's going to be skipped in the next 2 to 3 years, do you want to leave behind as a legacy for this program? For yourselves individually or just as a senior class?
It's a good one.
Really good question.
That's a good one.
Oh man. I don't know. The legacy that I want to personally leave behind at Sage Creek, especially because volleyball is my sport. I take it extremely seriously. A lot of you guys know that. Take that too seriously. But I don't know. Just like me, like my relentlessness. I love that word. That I feel like is my contribution to Rudy. I just like want people to remember that like I never gave up. You know, like with anything. So that's kind of my journey, especially too, like with everything. So
yeah. Personally for me, I think as I'm not preparing to pursue volleyball past high school, I kind of want to leave the legacy, at least in the program, is just prioritizing the energy and prioritizing the bonds and the community that we build among the team. I think to me that's the most important thing, that everyone is always looking forward to practice and trusts their team and really prioritizes the relationships that you build over the course of the season. That's always been my biggest priority in playing sports, and I hope that I've like given that to you guys and showed you, like, at least in my like the way that I prioritize that. I hope that's almost like contagious to you guys, that you guys will prioritize that in the future when I'm not here. Yeah.
Nice. You will be remembered. Thanks. No, nothing. You don't want to know?
You're the first senior in show history to decline answering that question.
Just maybe the fun of it?
A mysterious. Just you want to go with just what they said.
I mean, pretty much. Like, I mean, I transferred from Carlsbad to Sage, so like I didn't start playing volleyball until I transferred to Sage. So like I just feel like I don't have as much like input as much, but like I really enjoy like the welcomeness that I felt when I joined. So like maybe that, like, just keeping the welcomeness.
See, inclusion. That's perfect. That's awesome. That's great. Also, as I close out, is there a specific hashtag or saying or motto for the team this year that we can? Rudy. Okay. Hashtag. Well, then we will say hashtag Rudy and go Sage Creek. And thank you guys as always. Little Sage Creek in the big time this year. Talk to you guys soon. Go check out one of their games.